In this video, I'm here with my friend Katheryn, and we're talking about transitioning from charter school to homeschool, how messy the first year of homeschool can be, and how you can teach your kids to be entrepreneurs at any age. Coming up. Hi, I'm Heather, homeschooling mom of two, and on this channel, we do day in the life videos, product reviews, and interview with other homeschool moms just like this. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And today, I'm actually not homeschooling. I'm here at a video conference called Vid Summit with my good friend Katheryn from Stone Cold Countertops, and we're talking all about homeschool today. So, Katheryn, thanks for being on the show. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm super excited to be here. I was really excited to see you here. This is, like we're friends. So
We are.
Totally excited. I was like, yay, this is awesome.
Yeah, one thing that I love is really anywhere that we're traveling to, I seem to run into other homeschooling moms, especially because we kind of create our own little tribe. Yeah. Once you know another mom is a homeschooler, you just kind of gravitate towards them because you have this like-mindedness.
I think that that's so true. I think that when you find people that are like-minded and that you are working moms and trying to create this other boss idea, like it's just really a different level, which is why we vibe so well. Like I love that.
Yeah. So tell this audience, my audience, a little bit about yourself and how you came to homeschooling and how many kiddos that you are currently homeschooling right now.
Okay, so I have 4 boys. Yeah, you heard that right, boys. And they are super exciting. We have been homeschooling now. This is our 3rd year. We started homeschooling. So my children attended charter school. It was a public charter school that we actually helped open and kind of fun with that type of idea. And I'm the PTA president there.
Awesome.
And but when they got in Oregon, we do 5th grade. And then they go into junior high and then high school. And I have to tell you, the idea of being a homeschool parent never was a reality in my life.
We're so similar. Totally similar.
If you would have asked me 5 years ago if that would be a reality, I would have laughed you out of the room. I'm like, there's no way. But about about 2 years, I guess, before my son got out of that and was moving into junior high, I just started feeling a lot of promptings that was just going to be a jump that wasn't good for him or for our family. And so we started doing a lot of research, and I started doing, really honestly, a lot of prayer.
Yes.
And going and trying to turn to some different resources that I had and getting more information. And I found a program that I felt comfortable with, that I thought was going to give me the support that I needed. And we kind of approached our son with it, and he initially was not excited. Like, if you're thinking about this, your kids probably aren't going to be like, yay! They're probably going to be like, but my friends.
Yeah, especially if they've had exposure to other schooling opportunities, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that they just have fears that you need to address and identify for them so that you can go forward building that confidence, building a structure for them that's totally customizable to them, right? And create opportunities for them that they then feel excited and looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, so I really love your example, and I'm just so honored to have you on because, I homeschool, but my kids are little, and you really jumped into this at an older age, which is not very known that much in the homeschool community. So talk about kind of your fears in doing that.
So I will tell you, I have exactly opposite of what most homeschool moms fear. So I was like, if you can give my kids the foundation that they need, I can't screw them up that bad. So that's where I was coming from. And I had the charter school that they attended is amazing. I told you, I had a lot of impact in accessibility to helping the teachers and giving my opinion in that. And so I felt incredibly comfortable supporting them through that experience. My 3rd boy, so I have 4 boys. I've got a 14, 12, 10, and now I have a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot to keep track of.
It is. Yeah. It's pretty fun, right? And so my 10-year-old is in 5th grade now, and he's kind of coming to that same thing now. He's my most social, and he went from the beginning of the year like, Mom, I don't want to do this. What if I don't want to homeschool next year? And kind of like showing his muscles, to now asking if he can leave his school to start homeschooling with his brothers because they're having a ball and he like wants to join in. And we did change a lot this year in the way that we are approaching our homeschool style. And there are so many different ways to do that, right?
So many styles. So what would you say? This question, I love asking it, but then also like my internal, I'm like, no, it's not just one way of doing it. But there's ways that we can identify kind of how we like to teach or how our kids like to learn and what philosophies we like to follow. So what would you say is incorporated in your home learning environment?
So I initially, if you don't mind, our first year was a mess. I'm going to kind of go about that for just a quick second.
Yes.
So our first year, we went with this idea of a charter school at school program.
Right. And so can you explain that? That looks like?
Totally. So what that looks like is that there is a school, basically all they do is they come in, they give you resources and material, and then once a week, in our experience, we had a teacher be accessible to come in for an hour a week and touch base, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now, that's the way that I use the program. The program itself, they do have other resources where if you wanted to go on their campus and everything else. I live out in the middle of the mountains in the woods. You've got 5 acres in the middle of nowhere. I love that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't driving an hour to go meet with them and do all of that. But I had the opportunity to if I wanted to extend that. But for me, honestly, we just use it as an accountability tool. And I didn't have to be the heavy that said, hey, this needs to be done. Why aren't you doing this? I was like, hey, she's coming tomorrow. What's going on with that?
Yeah, that's so good. That was your first year.
That was our first and second year.
First and second year.
And we're transitioning out of that this year.
Okay.
And I haven't really told them that. This is kind of like my outing
so
video.
When you see this, guys, you'll know what's happening.
So the way that worked, the first few months was super rough. So we went from a very traditional schooling experience where they did really prepare them to do a lot of independent learning. My son and I were sitting side by side on the couch from 7 a.m. to sometimes 7 at night and just almost both of us sometimes in tears, just trying so desperately to get this idea together. And I really think it's just from a lack of know-how, a lack of confidence on my part, a lack, he's trying to please and do all this stuff that was just really, after a few months, was just nonsense.
Yeah.
And so I love that. Did you have that same experience?
Yeah. For us, I did a lot of research beforehand, and I really felt like, I'm going to just jump in and we're going to try things. I mean, we switched our curriculum like 3 times. If you watch my videos, you're like, Heather, you keep coming out with new curriculum videos. Yeah, because I keep just trying new things because I want to figure out how I teach well, how I facilitate really their own learning, and then how they learn best. I'm sure you've noticed when you have multiple children in your homeschool, they all do not learn the same. They all do not do the same incentives or have the same learning capacity. Like there's just so many variables. So yeah, I feel like I just love your truth in that the first year is messy. And I if you are just starting, it's going to be messy, and you just need to give yourself some grace because it's not going to be easy. I think that in our minds, or on Instagram,
right, or Pinterest.
Right, you see these moms and you're like, I want it to look like we're sitting on a blanket with our picnic and we're reading out loud, and really in reality it's like the dog's chasing the kids and no one's listening to the book and your lunch got spilled, and that's reality.
You're secretly going in your closet stuffing that chocolate in your mouth just to get through one more minute of the day. I totally know.
It's a new experience for everyone, and I think there's a joy in that, but there also needs to be grace in that. So
I totally agree.
Yeah. So what would you say as you're transitioning into this new style? Do you have are you Charlotte Mason or classical, or do you identify with any of those learning styles?
So one of the things that when I started doing my research, just in schools in general, especially when the kids were small, I spent a lot of time looking at the Montessori style of teaching. Okay. I really appreciate the idea, and I've seen it work so well where you teach the kid, they learn it, and then you have them empowered to teach it.
Yeah.
So you just learn it a totally different way, and you do it in their time frame. So your brain does not want to learn all of those things at one time, right? You may not be interested in math and science and English and all of these art all at the same time. Usually with my kids, I see them go crazy in one direction fully intently, that's because that's the side of their brain that's growing and developing at that time. And I really wanted to foster that. I hadn't seen that so much up to this point in the program that I had chose, which is why I'm moving and doing a pivot. I love pivoting. And I'm seeing a little bit difference. Now, our life has changed dramatically in the last few years. I went from strictly homeschooling. We had an at-home business. We're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We have, all these different things going on.
Wildly successful business that is growing that you've become more of a part of in this last, few years. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of been different. I think I went from kind of a slower moving to now we're in just a larger market.
Yeah.
We're being blessed in different ways. And so I'm growing in different ways. My kids are growing in different ways. They're getting older. They all love wrestling. They're part, my husband, that's one thing that we just had committed to when they were born was that he was going to commit that time as a coach.
Love it.
And so they go and they do wrestle with the regular junior high. That's part of their excitement and their curriculum and their
so that's cool. So your junior high student still can be involved in sports to that capacity?
You can. In
cool.
most ways, and for most homeschooling programs, at least in Oregon where I'm at, you can do all of that. In fact, if you were registered as a homeschool mom, they can go and actually participate in like band and different classes in that situation. So that's really cool. Definitely check that out as you're looking for that, especially if you have children that are interested in orchestra or choir or, you have those other things that maybe you want them to be able to be exposed to. Definitely check that out because you can still do your at-home school thing and go and have those other experiences.
Yeah. Now, I know you and your husband work together. You guys are homeschooling. Kind of tell me what the family dynamics are in your homeschool, because I have a heart for homeschool dads. I think that it's so encouraging to see these men stepping up in their children's lives and really teaching them on a different level. So talk me through what that looks like in your daily routine.
So we do that a little differently in some cases. So I don't think that we have a everyday dad's going to come in and teach science. That's not how we roll. During different parts of the year, like I was just mentioning with wrestling, he's their coach and he helps build their PE background and stuff like that. But they're also involved in scouting. And so part of their assignments was that they were going to work on their scouting, and dad's their scoutmaster. And so
cool.
He would work with that. And we also own our own business. And so just this last week we had our son, he took my son to the shop and he was in one of our videos and helping dad in the shop and learning that part of the business.
Yeah.
So this is something that I am super passionate about as an idea, and I'm hoping I shared it with you yesterday.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did was I got a really great program that I'm kind of digesting, and it's teaching people how to become entrepreneurs and launch businesses and how to be successful and learning how to market, right? And so as I'm listening to this curriculum, I was like, my kids could totally benefit from this.
Yeah.
And I had heard a really wonderful success story from one of our people that we know about her son, setting up a marketing funnel and doing what he knows, what is his excitement, right? He marketed that and was earning $50,000 towards college. And I'm like, yeah, my kids need to get on board with that.
Yeah.
They are getting in that direction.
Yeah.
And so I challenged my kids. They have a year to pick a thing that they are interested in. I don't care what it is. I don't care if they want to build something, if they want to teach something. I'm not going to guide them too much except to keep reiterating, hey, you need to be working
bumpers on a bowling lane, right?
Exactly. And then you're going to take that idea and I want to market that and see what they can do, because I love the idea of teaching my children how to learn.
Yes.
So they can research, they can decide what they really want to be passionate about, what they really want to like, and how they can use that for them to grow.
Yes, I love that.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Where can people find you online? Because I know that this audience here is definitely going to want to follow you and your journey and what that looks like, especially as an entrepreneurial mom. Tell me where they can find you.
So our business is stonecoatcountertops.com. You'll see us in some live video. Well, I'm in the live videos. I don't necessarily do all of our videos, but I am on that platform. If you shoot me an email, you put my name in it, then my team will get it to me. And I just am so excited about what you're doing. I'm so glad that you're sharing that with your group and your people. You guys, this community is really a tight one, and we really need to send that message that it doesn't have to look like a picture perfect box. It definitely is not the picnic most days.
It's not a picnic.
I
don't actually remember the last time we went on a picnic.
We do hikes, but we haven't but that's really not on school days, right?
No.
No, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I think that you are just amazing. She is a shark. So guys, listen to her. She's amazing.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
So good.